Right now, North Carolina lawmakers are working on a bill that would get rid of sales tax on diapers, baby wipes, and feminine products. It wouldn't be the first time that we've seen this sort of thing, that certain products would get a sales tax exemption. Food stamps, prescription drugs, certain equipment and supplies for farmers, none of that gets sales tax. Even groceries, things like produce and bread, no sales tax there, just a reduced 2% local tax. And pretty soon we could add diapers, tampons, pads, baby wipes, and more to that list. But how much money will that actually save you? Got to say, I'm not exactly sure. My sons have been out of diapers for a long time now. As far as tampons are concerned, I'm not even going to guess. Thankfully, though, we have someone a lot smarter than me in this department. Ashley Rowe joins us now with some diaper math.
We go through a lot of diapers and wipes in my house. So I went back and checked my receipts. I looked at all of my Amazon purchases over the last year. I shop for wipes and diapers at other places too, but this one's easiest to track. The North Carolina sales tax is 4.75%. Wake County adds another 2.5%, bringing the total tax to 7.25%. I bought 9 packs of diapers at about $45 each on Amazon over the last year. I bought 6 bulk packs of wipes at about $48 each. That brings the grand total to $694. Now, if you subtract the sales tax, that's a savings of about $50. And again, I mentioned this is just Amazon. I shop at other places too. If we include that, it's probably a savings of about $100. Not a huge amount of money over the course of a year, but it is enough to buy another pack of diapers and another pack of wipes. And that is diaper math. If you want to talk tampon and pads math, we're going to need a bigger whiteboard.
All right, thank you. Good stuff. Well done, Ashley. Right now, the bill is in a Senate committee, and if it does pass, North Carolina would be just the latest of several states that have gotten rid of taxes on essential items like this. Here are all the states that don't have sales tax on feminine products. A few of them don't have sales tax at all, but the rest actually chose to make an exemption for those products. Same thing here. This is a map of the state that got rid of taxes on diapers. Some of them specifically targeted diapers. Others got rid of sales tax on all clothing, things like that. And we can learn some things from those states, because while getting rid of the tax does save you and me some money, it means millions of dollars lost for the state. In fact, North Carolina lawmakers say getting rid of sales tax on just these products alone would reduce state revenue by about $50 million a year. All those other states that we showed you, they did face similar problems. So how did they deal with it? Some actually raised their overall sales tax rate, so on everything else. California did something a little different. They stopped taxing diapers and tampons and instead increased the tax on alcohol. Check out the fantastic headline from Forbes in 2017, Babies Before Booze. Law puts tampons and diapers, taxes on liquor's tab. But look, in the grand scheme of things, is $50 million in 1 year a really big deal for a big state with a big budget? I mean, North Carolina brought in about $11 billion from sales tax last year, but there's actually a bigger equation to keep an eye on here, a bigger story in this conversation about diapers and taxes. You see, the fertility rate in the United States and in North Carolina is declining, and it has been for years. This is a graph from the CDC. It shows the U.S. fertility rate over the past 25 years. The blue line pointing down, yeah, the fertility rate has fallen 23% since 2007. In North Carolina, it's fallen 18%. That is a big deal. It's the reason schools are closing in our area. Chapel Hill Carborough City Schools, they voted to close an elementary school this year. And in the last 4 years, 15 public schools have closed in central North Carolina. It's because of declining enrollment. In some parts, in a big way, because people are just having fewer kids to fill those schools. A big reason for that, we've talked about it several times, is the cost of having a family, of housing, childcare, healthcare, clothes, food, education, and diapers. The U.S. economy depends on a growing population. It depends on families. Without that, we could be in trouble, financial trouble, like way more than $50 million in the hole kind of trouble. You and me might not need diapers or baby wipes, but if we want our community, our country to keep chugging along smoothly, based on the math, the way it looks right now, giving parents a break, easing some of that financial strain might not be a bad idea. And this is a big, big topic that we are really just scratching the surface of right now. So I do want to know what you think about it. Send me an email, 7 p.m. at WRAL.com. What else should we talk about when it comes to the declining birth rate in our country, in our state?